Hello, hello. Welcome back to another thinking session with me, Noemi Garcia. Oh God, I can't. I wanted to wear headphones, but honestly, I can't hear anything, and that is kind of making me really anxious. Yeah, talking about anxiety. Have y'all seen the news lately? Y'all, huh? Most of the times I'm like, genuinely, what the fuck is going on? And other times I shut the TV right off. It's a lot. It's so much. I can't physically. Yesterday I was having like a whole panic attack the entire day. Um, it was really weird. Yesterday was like really weird. My anxiety really manifested itself like physically in a way it hasn't in years. But yeah, I mean, hello, welcome to 2026. I haven't been anywhere on the internet except Instagram and maybe a little bit on TikTok. Um, oh, and talking about TikTok, I deleted the app. I know, controversial. I deleted TikTok. And I feel like a lot of people have been having the same thoughts, especially since now Oracle has some sort of like leeway in there. I don't like Oracle. I think they are, if you truly ask me, I think they are the Antichrist. I'm not even playing with you. Um, it's so strange to know that an app that I truly did like, especially because it kind of it grew with me. Like the whole algorithm really did like go and change from my mind space when I was in high school to like now adulthood and parenthood and everything. It's weird to see that it was able to grow with me and you know recommend me videos that might actually relate to my point of view in my life a little bit more than whatever I was seeing on the daily back in high school. And that's why I like the app. That's why I truly like, if I had another question, I would probably go to TikTok before I went to Google, which is kind of crazy to admit. But I kind of really enjoyed the fact that there were people that were there speaking to you and telling you straight up what they did in order to, recommend the best thing for you. And then it slowly started to change, and it really did feel more like an ad 100% of the time. Like I tried to look for things that I did want to buy and purchase, and I was just seeing ads and things that were, sponsored, and it lost a magic touch for me. But I won't lie, I did meet a lot of amazing creators on the app, which I have ended up like I followed them to other social medias, and I just said, you know, I'm gonna continue your content over there. I cannot deal with this app anymore. It's just frustrating to see constant advertisements. I mean, I already live in New York City. If I want to see an ad, I just walk outside. I just go outside and look at a fucking billboard. I don't want to do that on my phone. I'm trying to relax, not think about how I could potentially buy another product. Um, but that's just me. It's been freeing. I mean, I did delete it yesterday, so it's not like the best thing. Like a huge change. I'm definitely on my phone a lot less. I'm on my phone a lot less, which is kind of like a big part of as why I deleted the app as well. Because I literally was like doing nothing and I was like, let me go on TikTok real quick. And then I just spent like what, 5 minutes on the stinking app? No. And now I'm free. And now I'm doing this. I feel like that's another thing. It definitely was like making me procrastinate. Like, it gave me an easy excuse to like be on my phone and not do anything else, which is another harmful thing. But okay, I'm free of the shackles and I'm free of whatever the fuck it was going on that stinking algorithm. Um, but I'm still on Meta, so and I can't bring myself to delete that Instagram or Facebook, which is a lot crazier to admit. I'm not gonna lie. I won't lie, it is a little bit crazy to admit that I can't delete any of the Meta apps. It's kind of sad, but also not really. I mean, I have so many memories on that app. I have so many memories on just archived or maybe just saved in one of their little pin things that they added on a few years ago. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of things are crossing my mind at this moment. Um, Another school update. I'm on in my last year of school. This is my second to last semester that I will be starting, and I'm really nervous and I'm really excited to just be over it. And I keep getting ads on of CUNY to get a master's degree. And trust, I did fall for it like for a half second. Like I was really thinking about it. I was going through the programs that they have. I was thinking about it. I won't lie. I was thinking about it. And then I remembered I have to pay for it. I have to sit down and really study for it. It's a master's degree. I can't just be silly willy-nilly on it. Um, so yeah, that I'm skipping on that for a few seconds, for a minute, for like a whole maybe possible years. Which led me to another internal question to myself. Do I want a master's degree? The answer to that is a simple yes. I've always wanted to study and become an expert in God knows what. I don't know if I've talked about it on here, but I did want to become a nun. I talk about that. I think I did talk about that in the last podcast, my previous podcast. I don't know if I've talked about it here, but I wanted to become a nun. Like I truly did want to. I wanted to be a nun. I was thinking about, you know, this was back when I was getting my confirmation done. So I was going into the Holy Sacrament of Confirmation, which is really just the sacrament where they ask you when you're like 12 if you do want to be part of the church, just to reconfirm the whole thing during the baptism, which is kind of weird because technically once you become baptized, you're already part of the church until you die. So I don't know what the confirmation thing is about. I thought about it a lot, the whole idea of celibacy and, taking care of people and learning about the religion just really spoke to me. It was more about learning about the religion, about Catholicism as a whole, and in turn about Christianity, which, just delves into whole different branches of religions. Like that really spoke to me. And then it was just a whole deep dive of like, what do I need in order to become a nun? And then I didn't do it. The pandemic happened. Everything just was weird for a hot minute there. I ended up going back to, I ended up working my ass off for like a year and a half in order to save up enough money to go to school. And then I went, got my associates, which, by the way, debt free. I'm still very proud of that. Very proud of my associate's degree. Not only because I did it, and mainly also because I did it and I got really beautiful, amazing grades. And it was like a huge reintroduction into what school life is. And I won't lie, I love my community college. It was definitely one of the best ideas I've ever had in my life. And now I'm on to get my bachelor's in digital marketing, which is also kind of weird that I even picked digital marketing. I won't lie, I don't know why I picked it. I don't know what about it spoke to me. But now as I'm learning more and more about marketing as a whole, I guess I think what really spoke to me was the idea of knowing how a lot of these brands end up using all of this information and data that they collect from you. It's a lot. It's a lot. And honestly, I get scared whenever I learn more and more about it. but it's definitely it's there and I'm learning, so I don't know. It I think that it's a very it's a very, if you are thinking of what the hell do I want to study, digital marketing as a whole really just it's a whole lot. It's a lot of math. I will say it's a lot of math than you probably want. Um, but you do learn a lot about how a lot of data collection, data and analytics maybe, and just how people, marketers, end up using the data that they have on you, how they can recommend to you the products that they want to sell. Which basically, marketing, yeah, it does entail a lot of like creativity. How are you gonna write this slogan? How is this poster going to look? How's this billboard going to look? How can we do this? How can we do that? Um, and I wanted to learn more specifically about the communication aspects. So I'm also minoring in communication studies and in data analytics because why not, you know? So yeah, my major is in digital marketing with a double minor in communications and data analytics. And am I a little bit burnt out? Maybe I could potentially be. Uh, but at the same time, I'm not. So whenever it's kind of crazy that I genuinely like, I don't know how to explain this without sounding completely dumb. It's kind of crazy how a lot of the things that I learn in class, I actively see it every single day of my life. A little bit tiresome, I won't lie, but I do see it. And it pisses me off that I know about it now. But at the same time, it doesn't because now I know about it. Which kind of makes me even more mad when I'm seeing a lot of these people just say the most outrageous shit about not going and learning more about life, about the world, and expanding your knowledge on shit. Like it's kind of, it does piss me off. I won't lie. Um, I college has improved the way that I do see the world. And it has changed how I think about my online activity. I mean, even in my own YouTube channel, it changed completely how I was even thinking about approaching the internet. When I was little and I had that other YouTube channel and I was like recording God knows what, exposing everything about my life out there. Um, I definitely took a different approach. It was a lot more organic, a lot more dangerous because why the fuck was I showing you where, oh God, I think about that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was like a whole invasion of privacy right there. Just a bunch of minors showing their faces on the internet, like showing what their school day was like. Please. But yes, it's very, but now I mean, I still love social media. I love doing this. I love doing blogs. I love editing. I love it all. I really do. I won't lie. Uh, but it does give you, there are times where you're just like, it's a lot. I don't think I see it anymore because I'm not as active online as I used to be. I don't have to deal with like really weird comments at times. Um, thank God. Honestly, thank God. Because it's fucking crazy. It's nuts. Um, But yes, I think that as we can all agree, social media is such an interesting and definitely damaging at times place. I won't lie, I love social media. I think it's possibly one of the best contributions and technological advances that I've ever been involved in, aside from modern medicine. It's so, it kind of does just put in perspective how small and how big we are at the same time. Um, and just a lot of the information that you get from social media is so interesting, which leads me to this whole other topic as what the hell do I want to do right now? I don't know. Um, Politics is such a complex thing that definitely involves every single it involves itself in everything that you do. It literally shapes how you live your life. So when I think about the whole notion, the concept of politics not being as important as people want you to believe it isn't, um, I want to put into perspective that that's not true. That's not true. I love politics. I mean, I was obsessed with it for like a hot minute. Let's say like 2, 3 years of my life was me just constantly involved in what the political and the politicians were saying, the political sphere, and it was kind of damaging. I mean, it it my anxiety was definitely going up. Um, so I kind of just left that by its side. I just dipped and ignored it for like a year or two. And now I'm back on my bullshit. I'm back on my bullshit because everybody doesn't know how to shut up. But I don't want to do that here. I want to be here and relax and, just relax and just take it down a notch. Let's talk about things that don't have that big of implications externally, while also, having a whole conversation about God knows what. Um, so let's talk about the whole Brooklyn Beckham and his parents and how they are doing. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know. It's truly just kind of strange how. So this is a screenshot from X. We are going to read the his oh God, what is going on here? I'm so sorry. I am trying to read what the heck his screenshot is, but my page won't. Whatever. So it says, I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep these matters private. Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth about only some of the lies that have been printed. I do not want to reconcile with my family. Crazy thing to say. Okay? I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life. For my entire life, my parents have controlled narratives in the press about our family. The performative social media posts, family events, and inauthentic relationships have been a fixture of the life I was born into. Recently, I have seen with my own eyes the lengths that they'll go through to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people, to preserve their own facade. But I believe the truth always comes out, yo. Let's leave that one there. Crazy thing to say that he doesn't want to reconcile with his parents. I won't lie. That's like only the first one. I think he posted like 3 other ones. Let me check. Give me. Oh shit! No, he posted 6. He posted 6 stories. Okay, let's continue reading because this is like actually kind of crazy. I didn't. I won't lie. I did not really read them. I saw it on TikTok for like a hot minute, and before I deleted the app, I saw it and I was like, okay, crazy. I won't lie. He says, My parents have been trying endlessly to ruin my relationship since before my wedding, and it hasn't stopped. My mom canceled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new dress. Weeks before our big day, my parents repeatedly pressured and attempted to bribe me into signing away the rights to my own name, which would have affected me, my wife, and our future children. They were adamant on me signing before my wedding date because then the terms of the deal would be initiated. My holdout affected the payday, and they have never treated me the same since. During the wedding planning, my mom went so far as to call me evil because Nicola and I chose to include my nanny Sandra and Nicola's nanny at our table because they both didn't have their husbands. Both of our parents had their own tables equally adjacent to ours. I won't lie, I don't know and I don't understand the whole I God, no, wrong thing, wrong thing. I don't understand the whole I don't understand, famous people drama. Famous parents with their children. I don't get it. It does seem very overprotective, and I feel like a lot of times parents tend to forget that their children are people too, and that's not only like famous people. That happens everywhere. Okay, he says. The night before our wedding, members of my family told me that Nicola was not blood and not family. Okay, yeah, because he's not going to marry his cousin. Do you want him to marry his cousin? I don't get that. Not well, like trying to like distance her and being like she's never going to be part of the family, even if you marry her. Is that what they're trying to say? Okay. Since the moment I started standing up for myself with my family, I have received endless attacks from my parents, both privately and publicly, that were sent to the press on their orders. Even my brothers were sent to attack me on social media before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere this last summer. Oh, okay. My mom hijacked my first dance with my wife, which had been planned weeks in advance to a romantic love song in front of our 500 wedding guests. Mark Anthony called me to the stage wherein the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife, but instead my mom was waiting to dance with me instead. She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. I've never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my life. We wanted to renew our vows so we could create new memories of our wedding day that bring us joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. It's really sad. I won't lie. That's very sad. I do apologize. I had to move. That's very sad. I won't lie. I mean, I get it. I do get it. I won't lie. I feel like when some people truly don't know or don't understand that their children that are adults and they want to do whatever they want to do. I mean, this reminds me of a whole different. It's similar, but not really. Um, as you know, I'm an avid watcher of Do We Know Them? And like a week or two ago, they were covering a a topic of this lady that was, documenting her time dealing with infertility and how she was now planning to go and foster a child. And a lot of people were very concerned of the fact that she seemed to not be completely ready to foster. So people were like, being like, hey, you do know that at the end of the day, fostering means that, the end goal is reunification. And personally, I mean no absolute shade or hate to this girl. It seems like people get, and she showed signs of that. It seems like people get so attached to the idea of like a mini me of a baby that they can like play doll with. And I see so many people, even people that have their own kids, I see that whole idea and notion that they get to play dress up and they get to tell them what to do and when to do it and how to do it. And it's very sad. It's very sad because like if he says that he was uncomfortable with the way that his mother not only like hijacked their first dance, but also how she danced with them. I mean, if he's talking about, he could, okay, how do I word this? Everybody has their own relationship with their parents. So everybody, gets to talk and say how they feel, how they don't feel when it comes to their parents, right? And if clearly they've been having issues, and for her to like go up and like just like hug him and be like, oh, my little baby, obviously he's gonna feel like it's a little bit inappropriate given the fact that, not only is it his wedding and that was supposed to be the dance with his wife, but also, you haven't spoken to me like you cared about me and like God knows how long. And now you're all up on me. What the fuck? So I do get why he would have that sort of aversion to it. It says, I don't care how the hell. It says, my wife has been consistently disrespected by my family no matter how hard we've tried to come together as one. My mom has repeatedly invited women from my past into our lives in ways that were clearly intended to make us both uncomfortable. Despite this, we still traveled to London for my dad's birthday and were rejected for a week as we waited in our hotel room trying to plan quality time with him. He refused all of our attempts unless it was at his big birthday party with 100 guests and cameras at every corner. When he finally agreed to see me, it was under the condition that Nicola wasn't invited. It was a slap in the face. Later, when my family had traveled to LA, they refused to see me at all. That's whatever, you know? My family values public promotion and endorsements above all else. Brand Beckham comes first. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media or how quickly you drop everything to show up and pose for a family photo op. Even if it's at the expense of our professional obligations, we've gone out of our way for years to show up and support at every fashion show, every party, and every press activity to show our perfect family. But the one time my wife asked for my mom's support to save displaced dogs during the LA fires, my mom refused. And I believe this is the last slide. The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I have been controlled by my parents for most of my life. I grew up with overwhelming anxiety. For the first time in my life since stepping away from my family, that anxiety has disappeared. I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose and have found peace and relief. My wife and I do not want a life shaped by image, press, or manipulation. All we want, peace, privacy, and happiness for us and our future family. So that was that. Definitely very telling. So, here is the video if I can show you his response, which I did watch this. I did watch this. And it was I won't lie. I won't lie and say that I didn't think it was a bunch of BS. So here we go.
So that's what I try to teach my kids. But you have to sometimes let them make those mistakes as well.
David Beckham is revealing that he encourages his children to make
Okay. Crazy. Crazy. I want to see if they can show the completed.
But what I've found personally, especially with my kids as well, use it for the right reasons. Yeah. I've been able to use my platform and my following, for UNICEF. And it's been the biggest tool to make people aware of what's going on around the world for children. And I've tried to do the same. I've tried to do the same with my children to educate them. They make mistakes. Children are allowed to make mistakes. That's how they learn. So that's what I try to teach my kids. But, you have to sometimes let them make those mistakes as well.
elsewhere in the internet.
Okay, so like I was saying, it feels a little bit of a BS like response. Oh my god, that's why it's been like that the entire time. Give me 1 minute. I was fighting with my whatever. rubbed me the wrong way. It was definitely just like a really weird like response in general. It doesn't make sense to say all that when his son was literally just being like, yeah, none of my family cares about me or my well-being or the fact that I'm actually happy with my wife. How are you gonna call his wife a mistake? Because that's technically what he ended up doing. He ended up saying, yeah, I just let my kids, make mistakes. And bro, so stupid. It's stupid that he thought this was going to be an actual valid response to that. It's just, what are your thoughts about this? I don't. I think Brooklyn Beckham is allowed to do what he thinks is best. For the time being, I believe he doesn't have any children with his current wife. Current wife. That was insulting. With his wife. I'm so sorry. Uh, you know what? Like, if he's happy, he's not breaking the law, is he? Like, it does just make sense that he would say, yeah, my family cares more about brand, cares more about, how they look to others, instead of giving a fuck about who I am. And what? I don't know what I just got a weird pop up. I don't know what this is. Huh? What the hell is going on? Um, if this is not recording audio, I might end up crashing out. I will end up crashing out. I won't lie. It's a very weird response. This is a very weird situation because I feel like we see it constantly with people that are public figures and parents at the same time. They really do give up more about their public image than the well-being of their children. And it's very rare to see anybody care more about their kids rather than whatever fame they can attract from their kids. And we see it massively with the way a lot of people tend to do family content and show their vulnerable situation. It's strange. And it doesn't surprise me. He's had enough. There was some sort of conversation that he probably had when his parents was like, you know what, I'm sick of this. And thought that the best course of action was to admit it to everybody that, hey, my parents are a bunch of a-holes. They don't care about me. They only care about their brand. They only care about how they can get more money out of this family. That my siblings are ass. So sorry. But also like the whole fact that everybody is like targeting him and like singling him out. Like in every family there always seems to be like a black sheep that ends up being called out for all of the faults. And this seems like it's getting that. And it's very sad. It's very hard to just like it's very hard to believe. It's just fact. What are your thoughts? What are your comments? I feel like we should just kind of we just move like we did the notification. It's like 10 minutes. Yeah, it was very nice. It was very calm talk. And I will see you all right over.